Like LeBron, or like Bonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do. Baby, please, think it through, drink it up, enjoy the view. MVP, on my crew, Nike on my shoes. Might be sipping booze, slightly feeling loose. If I want it, then I have it.
Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared, and I'm back. Hey, guys, super excited to do a show tonight. If you're new to the show, I'm Jared A. Brown. I'm the host of the Warriors Quest show, and I have the wonderful opportunity every single week to interview a kidney disease patient, a kidney warrior, right? And I get to spotlight a kidney warrior's journey in regards to finding a living kidney donor. And I'm doing that tonight, all right? But please don't be stingy, all right? Please smash that share button. I need your help with that. All right, so I've got Steve, the kidney nurse, watching already. Thanks for watching, my brother from another mother. Steve, the kidney nurse. Steve, thanks for watching. And anybody who else is watching, please make this interactive and drop a comment. All right. Let's get this story out there because that's what we do. You know what time it is. All right. So we are going to share a kidney warrior story tonight. I'm going to introduce him. But before I do that, I want to kind of talk about how I got connected to this kidney warrior. So if you don't know, all right, you should, because he's a great guy. Willie Blackwell, all right, former NFL player. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He has somewhat recently, all right, gotten a kidney transplant. And he told Leon Hammond, my special guest tonight, Leon Hammond, all right, to get connected with me. And Willie Blackwell referred Leon Hammond to me and said, hey, you know, try to get on the Jared show, the Warriors Quest show, and get your story out there and try to, make sure that, that you're live on several different, social media platforms. So, you know how we do, right? And Willie Blackwell's such a great guy. So honored that he would do that. that and that he would refer somebody to. We all love Willie Blackwell, and we hope that he continues to do well, and that his transplanted kidney continues to filter and do all the things a good kidney does. All right, Lisa Baxter in the house. Lisa, what is going on, my sister? Boom, boom, boom. All right, Willie Blackwell's watching. Speaking of Elder Blackwell, thanks for watching, Willie, and thank you for referring Leon Hammond to me. So Willie Blackwell is watching. I'm so happy that he is watching, and I'm so happy that we are getting this going. So anyway, with no further ado, all right, maybe a little ado, we are going to get Thelma Warner's watching. Thank you, sister. Oh my gosh, love it when I get the kidney disease community watching. This is awesome. So honored. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So I'm going to bring on our special guest. When I do bring him on, all right, please give Leon Hammond a very, very special Warriors Quest show welcome. All right, from the peach, all right, from Georgia, all right, all about the peaches. We are bringing on Leon Hammond. Here we go. You know what we do? VIP. Here we go. VIP. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. What is going on, my brother?
How you doing, Jared? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm honored. I really am. So, as I was explaining how we got connected, Willie Blackwell started commenting. I'm so honored that he would watch, and honored that he would refer somebody to me. That means a lot to me. But right here, he's commenting, Leon Hammond will get that new kidney. So thank you, Willie.
I appreciate you, Willie. You tell me this every time we text or talk that it's gonna happen. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, super positive guy. Always has, not only faith in God, but always has faith in that things will work out. Tremendous faith. I mean, anyway, and I also want to give a special shout out to Philip from A Second Chance. Would love to get you also connected to Philip and to Faro from A Second Chance as well, Leon. The good people.
Okay.
All right, and so here we go. So anyway, he got us connected, and we, I wanted to hear your story. I'm encouraged. I'm always uplifted by every story that I hear because, it's like a snowflake. You know what I mean? It's like even though every person I interview has kidney failure or at least some form of kidney disease, it's always different. And so it's going to be an honor to tell your story. But before I do, let me just put you somewhat solo for a moment. I'm still going to be here, bro, but
Gotcha.
I'll put you solo just for a second. And if you would, what I'll do is just kind of let you introduce yourself to, everyone here that's watching. And, tell us again, maybe a little background, even Bruce Wayne and Batman have their own origin story, right? So
All
let's
right,
hear
right.
let's hear your hero story. Where have you grown up? Where do you live now? And we can kind of just chit chat, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Well,
So,
got you. Well, first and foremost, thank you, Jared, for having me on. Again, thank you, Willie, for referring me and connecting us. I appreciate it immensely. But growing up, I grew up in East Cleveland, Ohio. and I actually went to college in Buffalo, New York, and was fortunate enough to get an undergrad in physical education and health and a master's in sports administration. So, by trade right
Awesome.
now, I work in education. I'm an assistant principal down here at McIntosh High School in Peachtree City, Georgia, athletic director as well. So I get to combine my love with education and sports every day, and I get to work with the youth. So that's important and huge for me. But yeah, I grew up in East Cleveland and went to school in Buffalo. Um, had an opportunity to live in South Carolina for a little bit, and then my wife and I relocated to Fayetteville, Georgia, once we had our second kid, and we've been here for came here in 2019, so we're
Okay. All
just
right.
past the 3-year mark. But kind of a little background. Like when I was in Buffalo in 2009 is when I was essentially diagnosed with my kidney ailment, which is
Okay.
it's a focal segmental glomerular sclerosis, which is FSGS.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mouthful, but it's what I was diagnosed with in 2009, and at the time my kidneys were functioning at like 39%.
Okay.
The doctor started me on a course of medications and everything else to try to keep my functioning where it was, but with the understanding that within 10 years that functioning would decrease and I would potentially need a transplant. Um, but I was telling somebody recently, I got interviewed at the paper here locally, that when you're 25 years old and you get that kind of news, you're still relatively young. You got Superman
Mm-hmm.
syndrome. You think that it's going to be
Right.
okay. And at the time I'm single. I got no kids. I have none of that. It's just me. So I really wasn't thinking 10 years down the road. Um, but as I've progressed from, like I said, from South Carolina now to Georgia, I've always, had good relationships with my nephrologists in each state, and they've done their best to kind of keep my functioning where it was at, and so that's been a plus, I could say, in comparison to some other stories I've heard of other individuals. I haven't had a lot of struggles being a person with stage 3 or stage 4 kidney failure. I haven't had as many struggles as other individuals. I've been able to get up and work, still work out, do the things I love, travel, spend time with families, work with the youth. So I've been fortunate to be able to do those things with limited issues. So, that's a blessing in and of itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, we've got the lovely Nashonda Larimore also watching. Thank you for tuning in, Nashonda. And Nashonda is a teacher, by the way. So I want to,
Okay.
yeah, Nashonda's watching. I want to put her.
Love for the educators.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, love what she does and what she does not only for the kidney disease community but for just the transplant community as well. Here we go.
As a matter of
All
fact, I
right.
just connected with Nashonda today, thanks to Willie. So,
Oh,
and we're going
very
to be
nice.
talking
Very
soon.
nice.
Yeah, I know she's
Sweet.
he kind of gave me a little backdrop on her, but
Yeah.
we're going to be connecting some more too. So I actually just text with her earlier this evening. So
Love it. I
I'm
love
excited.
it. I love it. Yeah, I'm excited that you are connected with her as well. She does great things. And so the so 3 years where you're at right now,
Yeah, 3 years.
and
This
three
is
years.
more where my wife grew up. My wife went to high school here and stuff. So yeah, 3 years,
All right.
pretty much back home getting help with the kids.
Uh-huh.
So this has been a blessing too, because having two little ones, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, when we were living in South Carolina, it would have been tough because we had no family there. So, we've been
Right.
blessed to be here. Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah, family is important, especially when you've got
Mhm.
kids and stuff. That's certainly a blessing. And so with the FSGS,
Mhm.
I've got a limited understanding, but from what I understand, so the disease kind of attacks like the glomeruli in the kidneys, and
Correct.
and kind of decreases the function in
Right.
time gradually. Um,
Right. So I think the best way to describe it, like my current nephrologist said, if you take pasta, let's say you were boiling pasta and you were pouring it into a strainer, and typically we know how a strainer strains out the water. And let's say you block off 80% of the holes on that strainer, so your 20% is working even hard trying to filter out the impurities and stuff in your body, and it just makes it hard because you can't really get those toxins out and filtrate or clean that blood. So it really becomes tough for an individual with this.
wow, that's a great analogy. I like that
Yeah, it was the best
analogy.
one. It was the best one I heard so
Yeah.
far, you know. So
Yeah, I like that a lot.
and that brings
I may
me to the
remember
point.
that.
Yeah, write it down, book it, make it yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, so where I'm at currently, you know, that's what got me to this point of connecting with Willie is, you know, my functioning back in May, they told me it was at 20%. Um,
20%.
so 20% is kind of when they start that discussion about, you know,
The
potential
talk.
dialysis if you get under 15,
Mm-hmm.
getting on the transplant list. So, you know, that happened in May. And I kind of, outside of my household, I kind of really kept it into myself just because, you know, it was real then, you know, it wasn't
Right.
when I was 25. You know, I'm approaching 38 now later this month, and I got two kids. And so it's not just for myself. So, you know, that was different for me. You know, it was scary, but, you know, it was just kind of like I was holding it in and not really sharing with people. And then, you know, my wife talked to me a lot and was like, you know, you got to put your story out there. And some of my admin team at work encouraged the same thing. And when they did that, you know, I really shared it with my family. Like, hey guys, it's time to consider getting tested, seeing if we're if you're compatible to be a match, and then sharing it with my close friends from college. So when I did that, um, you know, my network of supporters grew vastly because, you know, I found more people that were within my circle, were close, that had dealt with
Mm-hmm.
something, whether it was them directly or a family member. And just, you know, I know I cultivated a lot of friendships throughout my life, but there was a lot of people who were stepping up, saying, "Hey, I got you. Like, what do I need to do? How can I get tested? How can I see if I'm a match? What can I do for you? How can I be here? You know, whether it be that or just support." Mentally, emotionally, you know, they really put their arms around me, and you know, that's kind of really helped throughout this process.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. It is it is a battle, and many people that I've interviewed, Leon, have expressed to me that not only is it a battle on, you know, physical sort of scale, but you feel it emotionally. And
Mhm.
you know, like you had said, it had been a blessing that you're near family, because
Right.
you know, dealing with not only your kids but then dealing with what you're going through right now, that's a lot to juggle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
definitely
yeah. Go ahead. Go
family's
ahead.
so
I think,
important.
I mean, for me, like one of the quotes I said was, you know, when I initially put it out on Facebook was becoming comfortable, being uncomfortable. And the uncomfortable part for me was just, you know, having to really show an extremely vulnerable moment to people and, you know,
Hmm.
asking for help. And there's really nothing I can do about it except for, you know, take care of my health. But as far as I can't fix, you know, my kidneys, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to need somebody at
Hmm.
some point to be a living donor. Or, you know, there's a deceased donor, preferably a living donor, just because of the longevity of the kidney and the organ. But, you know, so that was really tough just having to put that out there, you know, that, hey, you know, I need help. I have an issue that I can't really fix. And, you know, it's been going on for some time. So, you know, I mean, I
Hmm.
try to wear it well and, you know, not make it an issue and talk about it. I try to, you know, do my job, go to work every day, you know, spend time with my family, do the things that, you know, are important and kind of put it in the back of my mind. But it's always there. And I understand that.
Right.
But, you know, it's been, like I said, it's been huge, you know, getting that support because you're saying something you can go through alone and you're going to need people. And you know what? Just people sharing the story is critical and it's huge because, you know, I've had, you know, a number of friends reach out. I've had, you know, parents of my students reaching out. I've had former students I've taught. I've been in
That
education
is
for over 16
awesome. That's
years. So,
awesome.
you know, former students
Yeah.
of mine like, hey, you know, coach, what you need? What can I do? So, you know,
Hmm.
that's great.
That's fantastic. It must mean a lot to you that people that you know, that either were students of yours or at least interacted with you in such a way that they would try to ask and offer help. What does that mean to you? How encouraging is that?
Uh, well, it means everything. I mean, to be honest with you, it means everything because, you know, it just lets me know that, you know, I've affected somebody in a positive way, so much so that they would want to get back to me. But I
Yeah.
mean, for other people. the side effects they may deal with this um, is probably the toughest part. But for me, the toughest part and the most emotional part was just like receiving the love. You know, I feel like I know I have good friendships and I'm loved, but taking it all in big amounts was just tough because I mean it was just overwhelming. Like you know it's there, but then when it's being expressed, it's different.
Yeah.
And and that was the toughest part for me. But you know, tough in the sense that it was great. It was great for me. I wasn't, you know, if that's my biggest worry, then man, it's a blessing to get that kind of love.
Yeah. I I'm super happy to hear that because it's there are other warriors that I've interviewed and I've interacted with that don't always have that, and they feel isolated, they feel invisible, and certainly having encouragement, support is huge. So I'm glad to hear that you have that in your life right now, and
Hmm.
that you've got people in your corner. So what I'd like to talk about though is you had mentioned how, and by the way, I did read your Facebook post. And what I liked about it, Leon, is that you were real, and you and I talked about very briefly offline before we went live that, it's good just to be raw and authentic.
Right.
And I thought that your Facebook post where you expressed yourself, it was very real. And, it's very heartfelt. So I encourage anybody who hasn't already read it to read it because it's very heartfelt. It tugged on my heartstrings, but you were being honest, and I like that you were expressing vulnerability, and that it's not easy for you to ask for help. And you were talking about how, you're trying to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I love that, by the way. That's cool. I like that. And so, why do you think it was difficult for you to talk about it? Was it because, was it because of what maybe how people would view you afterwards, or what was the most difficult thing about, coming forward about your kidney failure?
For me, it's putting the spotlight on myself. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, you know, the biggest analogy I was telling somebody is, growing up, I played football, and I was fortunate enough to play in college my freshman year. But playing football, I was offensive lineman. So, as offensive lineman, you don't get the glory. You do it for the receivers and the
Mm-hmm.
skills. So,
Right.
that kind of mindset is how I still function and operate. Like I'm cool with being in the background. I'm cool with being, the mechanic that's gonna make the engine go and let everybody
Mm-hmm.
else enjoy the glitz and glamour of everything. So, now that I had to step out and put that attention on me, that was tough because I don't like being in the spotlight. I want to be,
Okay.
take a back seat. But you know what? I had to again become comfortable with it, because it is about me at this point right now. It's about me and it's about other individuals, not just me, but other individuals who are going through, renal failure or kidney failure or needing an organ of some sorts. It's about these individuals. But it was also just kind of having to be a little selfish, if you can say that, and say, that, I need the
Right.
help. I'm putting myself at the forefront right now. So that was hard for me because that's not something that I tend to want to do. I want to kind of be in the back seat and just you know watch things happen.
Okay.
Make the decisions behind the scenes to make
All
things
right.
go. So
Okay.
that was a real big part of it. And then the other part was just growing up. Once I went off to college, I was by myself. I went to Buffalo by myself. It was 3 hours from Cleveland, but I went by myself there. I stayed there after undergrad, started working and teaching. So it was really me doing other things for myself, helping my family from a distance when I was able to. So, it was kind of letting go of some of that control and letting go of that I can't do it all and being accustomed to doing that, so that was,
It's also
another
tough.
tough part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was some things that made it tough as well.
All right, I love this. I love this comment right here. I'm going to leave it up for just a second here, but Thelma says your story is an inspiration to others. Share it, and it. Your story is inspiring, and then the other thing is you don't know who else may be watching right now. That some, like how you were affected personally, that it was encouraging to you that other people stepped in and offered to help you, because
Mhm.
you had said that it meant in some way that you affected their lives in a positive way, that they'd want to do that.
Right.
Well,
Mhm.
in a similar way, telling your story right now could inspire other people who may not like the spotlight, and may not be comfortable. And man, if he can do it, and he's saying that he doesn't necessarily like to be in the spotlight, then maybe I can do it.
Right.
Whether they're shy, reserved, or just introverts, whatever. You know what I mean? So definitely, I'm happy we're getting your story out here. The the being vulnerable, although it although it's not easy, it it can actually make someone appear normal. And I think that when we're facilitating like you do, that's not a bad thing either. Because if you're in the background facilitating, that doesn't necessarily mean that 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 you don't know how to run things. In fact, it's the
Mhm.
opposite. Is that many general managers, since you brought up football, and I love football, I'll use some football analogies. Is that
Okay.
there are many, there are many offensive coordinators, right? That nowadays don't always stay on the sideline, right?
Mhm.
And some of them do, but some of them don't. But some of them prefer to be up in the booth, because then they can watch film, or they can watch some tendencies or whatever, and they maybe some of them feel like they're getting a better feel for the game. But they're facilitating, and they're not necessarily in the spotlight because they're not on film. They're not the glamorous person in the spotlight, like maybe the head coach or the quarterback or whatever. But nonetheless, they're facilitating. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so being vulnerable is never easy, but it does make you appear to a potential living donor as someone who's normal. And especially when you admit that it's not easy, any potential living donor who's watching, who can see that, it makes you a little relatable, you know, because
Mhm.
man, drop a comment, anybody. But I want to hear from Thelma, anybody else who's watching right now. But I know there are some other people who have probably felt that same way, Leon. That man, really, I've got to share my story. This is not easy. So
Right.
please, anybody else who's watching right now who has felt that same way, drop a comment, because I know he's not alone.
Yeah, I see Thelma. Thelma. You're in my prayers and thoughts too. I see you've been sharing your story in the comments, and you're right. We got to be an advocate for ourselves, especially if we want other people to help us out. So that's huge. So I appreciate you. And my thoughts and prayers are with you as well.
Amen. Amen to that. So Thelma, little background story, Leon. Maybe you already know her. I'm not sure. Is this your first time interacting with her?
This is.
All right, man. Her story is so inspirational as well. So she had a heart transplant,
Oh wow.
and so there was an acute injury um, that happened. If I remember her story well, she's been on my show, the Warriors Quest show. I've had the honor of having her on my show as well. And then,
Okay.
and so heart transplant recipient, right? And and then she had an acute injury during surgery or shortly after surgery, and her kidneys were failing, so she had to go on dialysis.
Mm.
And so she's now um, a double transplant recipient, where she's a heart transplant recipient, and now she's a kidney transplant recipient.
Wow.
So what a story. It's just very, very inspiring. And
Man, that's amazing.
yes, it
That's
is.
amazing.
Yeah, very inspired by her story. All right. So yeah, we've got. I want to read this comment right here. This is Lisa Gee. Okay, Lisa. Lisa Gee is watching. She's been on my show as well, and she's a kidney transplant recipient, but she's also now back on the living kidney donor search as well. So here we
Okay.
go. Yeah. All right, Pat Manley, checking in
Yeah,
from DC, Leon.
yeah, he's actually
Nice.
one of my college friends. He's one of my boys. So
All right, all right.
he's one of the big people in my support system who've helped
Awesome.
me out a lot. Him,
All right.
I see a couple people in here that I know. So I appreciate y'all for being in here,
Yeah,
and
that's very
just
cool.
the love is felt, the
Yeah,
positive vibes are felt. I appreciate it.
very cool. Well, thanks for tuning in, Pat. The Buffalo Crew is behind you. It reads. That's cool. All
The
right, and then
Buffalo crew is strong for sure.
nice, nice. All right, and so anyway, so to continue to talk. All right, here we go. Terry Schoffer. Thank you, Terry. Wonderful Terry Schaffner. I've had her on my show as well, and we're spotlighting Leon Hammond, everyone, today. If you're just tuning in, and he was diagnosed with FSGS in
Right.
2009,
Yes, sir.
and his GFR is hovering around 20%, and
Yeah.
right
20.
now, yeah, something like that, and
Right.
give or take a few. And so he and his nephrologist have had talks recently about preemptive, a preemptive search for a living kidney donor, and
Right.
discussions about dialysis, of course. So,
So just a little update for you. So I'm actually going to my nephrologist on Friday to do that. So actually that was already scheduled. But then Piedmont actually called me yesterday, and I'm going in to get my echocardiogram Friday
oh,
morning
okay,
early.
Friday morning.
So once I knock that out, that should be the final step to getting me listed. Everything else was clean and good.
Everything else
That'll
was
be the
good.
final thing
Okay,
to get. Yeah, that'll be the final thing to
and
get
then
me
check
listed.
mark. Yeah,
Hey, and then we rolling. So, but in the meantime, yeah, I need a kidney. Thank you, Terry.
yes, yes,
But
Terry.
yeah, I'm hoping to continue to be, or to become an advocate for other people, who are in my situation or maybe worse off. Just
Mm-hmm.
well, I still got the energy to be able to help and do it. I mean, I do it on the school day too. So why not be able to help other people and become, a warrior and a supporter for others? Because some other people have been doing it for me, so it's only right
Mm-hmm.
to give back to others what they've given to me.
Amen to that. I felt the same way, and that's why I continue to advocate. Although I don't have kidney disease, I feel
Gotcha.
like I'm infected by it because I've got a sister-in-law who has it, and then I have an uncle who just recently got a kidney transplant June this summer. And
Congrats
so,
to him.
yeah, thank you. I'm so happy for him, and so I feel like I needed to do more, and it's good. Inspiration's an interesting thing. Whether a person has a great amount of faith or not. I'll just share my opinion because I feel like this is how it works in my life. Is that
Hmm.
I really feel strongly that inspiration hits us every single day, and whether you're inspired because of you inspire a student or you feel inspired to talk to a student and you think of as maybe a student that was struggling previously and you feel inspired to that student's on your mind, whatever. But I think we get inspired every single day. It's just that sometimes it really depends upon how we react to that inspiration. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so it's noteworthy that you would say that you'd want to also advocate for others because that says a lot about your character, Leon. I think that's great that you would want to continue to do that afterwards.
I just think it's important. I mean, I'm faith. I'm steadfast in faith and believing that um, I am going to get a transplant at some point. I know I will, and that's the mindset I gotta have for me personally. So I know that at some point I'm gonna be in the shoes that I can help others.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I found out a friend of mine from college and during COVID, which was tough for him, but he was on the golf course and they was like, "Hey, you got
Oh
to get in here right now."
wow,
And then
wow.
COVID delayed his stuff a little bit, but his sister was a match. His name's Colin.
Mm-hmm.
His sister was a match, and that was great for him. When I started, getting the bad news, a good friend of mine, Brittany, she coaches at a VCU. Her little sister um, was, kidneys were failing, and she has been, getting tested. Their family has, and they've been advocating for her, and so just hearing those other stories that being a voice for other people is important. I mean, what else?
It is.
We got to get, our goal is, to be kind and be good to others. So it's a small gesture, just speaking for somebody, hitting the share button on Facebook. Even if you
Right.
go as far as getting tested to see if you can be a match for somebody. I seen a
Right.
post on one of the Facebook groups on, man, and it was like kidneys are meant to be shared. You got two, you only need one to live, and they're meant to be shared. So I mean, if you can help, help. I mean, I can't think of a better feeling than knowing that you did something to save somebody else's life and potentially, help their family and help them be here with their family longer, provide for their families longer. So, if it's something that you can do, why not?
Very cool. Why not? Right. I mean, if we can all come together, and because at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters. We're all connected in some way. Why don't we try to send out love our world, and try to help as many people as possible? That's how I view it. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, so Steve had a question here. Is that there's there's a trying to think of I don't know if I want to say supplement, but it's a prebiotic and probiotic. Um, this product that he's talking about,
Okay.
Renadil. I'm
Hmm.
not. Have you
I'm
ever
not
heard of
familiar.
Renadil? Okay,
Not
so
familiar, but I'll bounce it off my nephrologist this Friday to see what he says.
yeah, in fact, we encourage everybody to talk to their nephrologist about Renadil, because Renadil, the way it works is it's kind of it's again prebiotics and probiotics,
Okay.
and which everybody's a lot of people are already familiar with probiotics and prebiotics, and so when you take this, essentially what it does is it's going to break down and kind of like a dialyzer in your body, and it works on breaking down the material and filtering out stuff, and then it goes out the other way. I don't want to be too graphic, but you know what I
I
mean.
got you. I got you.
Right.
I got it.
But it's a ask your nephrologist about it, and then Google and look at the testimonies. But it's a product that Steve feels good about, and I stand behind him if he does, because he's a registered nurse and he's been in this kidney disease community for like 36 years. So if he thinks it's a good thing, then I would stand behind it too. And I encourage anybody who hasn't already looked into it to, find out what it's about. All right. So
Uh, I see
Leon
some
is
good
going
questions
to
coming through.
bless. Okay. She's saying Leon is going to be blessed with a kidney this year, and he's blessing for all of us. Amen. So thank you, Terry. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Terry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a good question. Lisa said, "What do I want to do with my
All
new
right.
kidneys that I can't do now?" Um, Honestly, a new kidney, I think it's going to allow me to maintain and be in education longer. I mean, I've been in education over three different states. High school was my love, so I think it's going to allow me to help continue to shape, mold, and work with people that's going to change the world. I mean, so I think for me, it's going to let me do that. It's going to let me watch my 6-year-old daughter and my 3-year-old daughter grow up. Hopefully, walk down
Okay.
the aisle one day.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to let me spend more time with my wife. It's going to just let me continue to love my family strong, passionately, and just be there for them. So, I mean, I don't know how much it changes what I do now, because I love what I do now, and I just think it's gonna give me more time to continue doing what I'm doing, and making more memories and affecting more people, and just working with more people and helping them out. So I think that's what it's gonna allow me to do, and that's what I want to allow me to do.
Well, if that's what it does, then that is a very, very good thing, because man, I think that that's exactly what we need. That's why I give kudos to Lashonda and you and anybody else who's in the education field, because it's important that we try to make sure that we're making our future better, and that's really what educators do. Is they're helping our youth and our future, generation. So if that's what a kidney transplant does, is it helps you, continue to be a person that helps in that field, then that's tremendous. I think that's great.
I mean, look, I've been fortunate and blessed to know that from early on, I wanted to work with kids in some capacity. Like initially when I was in college, I was the athletic trainer in my first year, and then I had a roommate who wore like a size 18 shoe, and I just got tired of taking his feet, so I was like, I'm out of that. But I knew I wanted to work with kids. I knew I wanted to
Yeah.
coach. I wanted to be involved with sports in some capacity. So how can I
Yeah.
do that? I could teach PE and I could still coach and have that time. And summers off were a bonus back then, but now in
Right.
administration, it's really no such thing as summer off or being an AD. But it's just I feel like I'm blessed because I'm living the dream of doing what I want to do, and that's work with kids, giving them opportunity to go to college, whether it be for sports or academically, giving kids an opportunity to get out of their little bubble and see the world potentially. So, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do, and it looks different now than it did then because I've continued to move up within the educational field, but nothing changed at the core of what I do is children and helping children. So, that's at my core, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. Lord willing, as long as He
God
had me
bless you.
here. So,
All right. God bless
yeah,
you. It's a wonderful thing to help children. One of my best memories of the Bible is, hearing stories about Jesus who's enamored by children and having children, um, you know, having them actually go to him and be drawn to him, and how he just really loved children. And so children
yeah,
are precious. They're our future, and I think that's a great thing that you do. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad
So,
to.
hey, so here's another question, Leon, that you may have already read, but I'm going to bring it up again. But all right, I lost my spot here. Oh, my bad. Here we go.
So good.
Yeah, here we go. It's Lisa Gee again, the wonderful Lisa Gee. And Lisa Gee, I was going to ask you, by the way, she has participated, Leon, in the transplant games in the
Okay.
past. Um, I was going to ask Lisa, if you're watching, are you in San Diego right now? Are you participating in the transplant games in San Diego? Drop me a comment. But she's asking right here, are you feeling tired? Do you feel like chronic fatigue?
I feel like it's a loaded question because yes and no. I don't think I feel tired from my kidneys, but I have little ones that may get me up at 6:30 or 7 in the morning, and then
Okay, right.
with my job, I'm at school before 8. My work day's over at 4, and that's the school day side of things. When then you get into athletics, I can be there till 10 o'clock at night working the game. So
Mm-hmm.
generally tired, just from the work day. Yes. Um, from kidneys, I don't think so. I do. I mean, I work a lot and I push a lot at work. So, um, you know, especially just the beginning of the school, you're trying to get back open. Um, Things get thrown at you, curveball. So, no, I think I don't really necessarily feel tired from it. It's just the normal stresses and days of working, long hours at times. But but I'm still able to get up and do them. So I think I'm okay.
I remember earlier in this interview you mentioned how you were blessed because you still are able to feel well enough to work. So that's good.
Right. That kind of goes to what I think it was Steve said, about exercising. Yeah, still exercising, diet wise, kind of cut out, pork, beef, some of those things. Not really in
Mm-hmm.
my diet. Never really was a smoker, not a big drinker or anything like that. So doing the things to, lose some more weight just so that when I speaking it to existence, when I do get the kidney, that's going to, I've been told that'll help make my recovery be a little bit smoother. So doing those things, yeah, I made those changes.
Changes, yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So Lisa Gee answered she's not in San Diego. Well,
Okay.
it, but nonetheless, Lisa, it's good to hear from you. I hope you're feeling as well as you can feel, and I hope that you get your kidney transplant sooner versus later. So
You said
she had mentioned,
transplant. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, she had a transplant previously,
Okay.
and her transplanted kidney um, started to reject, and so now she's back on dialysis. and she's now
Gotcha.
looking. Yeah, so she's back on the transplant list. So she had mentioned before. She says her dad played for Buffalo. So I don't know if she meant Buffalo Bills
I'm
or
assuming the
what she
Bills
meant.
because
Yeah,
that's the
right,
only pro team unless it's hockey, it's the Bills, and I got my
right.
experiences there. I
Yeah.
worked for the Bills for 7 years out of grad
Uh-huh.
school. Just game day experiences, internship, scouting department. Because my master's in sports and men, so
Uh-huh.
I've had some experience working in pro sports on I would call it volunteer basis, just because the
Okay.
pay wasn't great. So you were donating a lot of your time, but it was a great experience. So Bills have a special place in my heart too. I cheer for them when I'm not cheering for my team. So yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. I've always liked the Bills organization. A lot of good players there. You've Jim Kelly, of course, Thurman
Mhm.
Thomas, so many good Buffalo Bills players. So Lisa's coming up with another good question. Let me show that. Thank you, Lisa, for your comments and questions. She's asking, have you experienced anything bad on dialysis? And I think that maybe that's another question that we can answer is that Steve's asking, are you on
No,
dialysis? And
no, I'm not. I'm not. That was the so I'm trying to stave off dialysis as long as possible. But I'm not yet. Like I said, when I hit 20, it was all kind of being preemptive and preparing for a worst case scenario, which would be, stage 5, end stage, and or dialysis for those things. But no, I'm not right now.
okay. And Willie Blackwell has this comment, we cannot control life's difficult moments, but we can choose to make life less difficult. We cannot control the negative atmosphere of the world, but we can control the atmosphere of our minds. Amen to that. That is a good nugget right there. I like that
That
a
is
lot. Thank
that's
you,
a
Willie.
jewel. It's a bar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna highlight that.
that's a
I'm
good
gonna
one. I
yeah,
had a good
snapshot
friend
it.
of mine, a good friend of mine's mom, her husband, he passed away not too long ago. God rest his soul. But he he used to say when he was going through dialysis before his daughter, my friend, actually gave him a kidney. He was like, something else. This when he was going through dialysis, he always would say, "This is better than the alternative." And
Mm-hmm.
when she told me that, I said, "Hey, you're right. Like it could be worse." So that's why I don't complain and I say I'm blessed because I know other individuals that are going through dialysis that maybe aren't able to work, that are really struggling, and I feel for them. So that's why I say for me, it's better than the alternative. I could be in that position, but I'm able to still get up, get myself
Mm-hmm.
dressed, get to work, interact with people, and make the best of my day and just make the best of my time until that positive time comes for me to get a transplant.
Nice, nice. So Pat's saying here, Bill's Mafia. Now, does that mean anything
Yeah.
to you?
Listen, if you're a Bills fan, you better know what Bills Mafia made for real. Like my household, they are Bills fans. I'm the solo Ravens fan, so I get it all the time. But yeah, if you're a Bills fan, you know what the Mafia is. It's real. They're breaking tables and they having a good time at games. Like I said, 7 years of working there, seeing them in the parking lot tailgate and pregame, coming in 24 hours in advance, 48 hours in advance for a game, and now they're up and they're really successful. Man, it's a if you haven't been to a Bills game, go to a Bills game. It's unlike
That would
anything
be
else. Go to a Bills
oh,
game.
that would be
I don't know
awesome.
who your
Yeah.
team is, but check and see on the Bills schedule. Go check a game out, man. It's a really
Yeah,
good
it's
time.
my team's the Broncos. I was born in
Okay.
Denver. In fact,
Okay.
yeah, in fact, I named my son. He's 11 years old right now, but I named him Bronco Dale Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I love sports so much that I'll even watch Derek Carr and the Raiders, even though they're a division rival of the Broncos, because I love football. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I do. I think I like Derek Carr, although I got to be honest, when he's on the screen, it almost looks like he has eyeliner on. Nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just because
Hey,
of his.
man.
It's just because of his. His eyelashes are so dark, if you know what I mean. But
I
great
got you.
quarterback, yeah, great quarterback. I like his demeanor. I like, and I think that he's handled everything well. Where all of this, talk about whether he should be really the quarterback and for the Raiders or not. And he's handled it well. And last year he had a really good season. And anyway, yeah, but I'd love to go to a Bills game. I think that would be awesome. All
Listen,
right,
it's
so
go ahead, go ahead.
it probably gets pretty loud there, huh?
It's you know what the stadium's in a residential neighborhood which is kind of unique
Okay.
from other places. So, a lot of people who live there, they charge people to park on their yard and make their rent for the month or make their mortgage for the month.
Okay.
So it's just even when it's 20 degrees, they out there. But I mean, as a Denver fan, and you lived out there, you know what the cold weather in
Yeah,
those games is.
yeah,
So
right.
yeah, so
I I love to watch football in the snow, though. I do. So here we go. So I stand corrected. Now that she says that, I do remember this when she was on my show. So it wasn't that her transplanted kidney rejected. It's that
okay.
there had been cancer found in her transplanted kidney. So there we go. All
Yeah,
right.
you know what? We're talking about football, and what's funny is my football coach at the school who we just hired this year. He just jumped on Derek's
Oh,
school.
really?
So, yeah, I know I'm gonna hear something
There
about
we
this team,
go.
but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He better win some games this year.
All
I know
right.
that. He better
Very
win some
cool.
games. Yeah,
Win some games.
win
All
some
right.
games,
So
baby.
I'm gonna try to bring some more comments up here. So, you
Okay.
talked a little bit about wanting to advocate. So, and you've also said that it's been difficult for you to open up about
Mhm.
your need for a living kidney donor, and that you have, you know, um, kidney
Yeah.
failure. But she's asking here, do a lot of, do you spread awareness, and what are things you do to get this kidney? So you've talked a little bit about that already, but for those that maybe weren't here at the beginning of the interview, can you talk a little bit about your post on Facebook and some
Okay.
things that you're doing?
Gotcha. Um, so really, the first thing I did was spreading it. Was I talked to my family, my immediate family, my brothers, my aunts, my sister, my cousins. Then I got to my friend groups from college, grad school. I really got to them and talked to them about it because that's really my big support group, and I wanted them to know. I didn't want them to find it on Facebook. I wanted them to hear it from me first. And then, another thing was getting your message out on Facebook or social media platforms.
Mhm.
That's big because, again, the internet makes everybody stay connected, good or
Mhm.
bad. So you just never know who you're
Right.
gonna meet. So, that's how I was getting my word out there. I have a kidney microsite through Piedmont. That's been also getting the
Oh,
word
very
out there.
cool.
I did a interview last week with the Fayette County News, a local paper here, and they've helped
Yes.
to push my story. A young lady saw the quote about
Mhm.
getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Young lady Sydney, so she wanted to cover the story. So that was another way of getting it out there. I met some other people who have various foundations that help individuals. I met a guy recently. He works with teens and young adults on who may be dealing with this or have a family member who are dealing with some type of transplant or needing a transplant and helping them transition, just kind of deal with that situation. So he's actually based out of Atlanta, but he's a person we knew, mutual people from college, and I want to do some work with him. So as far as being an advocate for others, I'm sharing posts, I'm talking to people, find out their story, I'm trying to encourage them. I'm finding other things to get involved with. I know, like Willie, hopefully, I can become a mentor to people who are going through a
Mhm.
Piedmont hospital on that list. Just a person to talk to, just an ear to listen. I don't really have to even talk back. I could just be there for you to vent,
Yeah,
get it off your
listen.
chest. So, that's huge. I think she said something about nausea. No nausea. I'm good. And that's in that question. But I think that's how I've been getting my story out there. And doing interviews like yours and learning more and connecting with people like Miss Larimore. And
Mhm.
that's how I'm going to grow and become a stronger advocate for other individuals, is by connecting with people
Amen.
and finding out how I can help. Because I
Mhm.
don't know what I don't know. I mean, as you get more into this and you learn more, that's how you find out who you can help. That's how you find out how you can better assist somebody, whether it be monetarily, spiritually, just helping them in those capacities. That's how I feel like I'm going to be best used, and I'm excited. So if anybody has things, add me on Facebook, add me on social media, connect with me so that I can help people. Maybe we become pals and peers to help one another. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
here
we
for.
come together. We come together, right. So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you some resources while we're on this interview together.
Okay.
So she mentioned Billboard right here, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And there's some great comments. Keep the comments coming in, you guys. I love it. Thank you. So she mentioned a Billboard, and I did a TikTok video, I did a TikTok video kind of talking about a really budget friendly billboard
Hmm.
that can fit any budget, and it's Blip, Blip, Blip,
Okay.
and it's again super easy. Where I'm going to put my comment right here. I just typed it in. So Blip, Blip, and I not sure you can Google it. Just put Blip
I
billboard.
will.
Yeah. So it's very budget friendly. There's not like a contract, and you can quit anytime, and it can fit any budget. And so you know, um, I think it's a great resource because let's say you try it out, and I'm imagining they'd probably have some sort of blip billboard where you live, but hopefully they
Gotcha.
do. Yeah. But it can fit any budget. So that's a really good resource right there is Blip. The other one that I would give you, and I'll probably put this in Facebook Messenger and send you these
Okay.
links, but designatshirt.com, and you can get up to 5 free t-shirts for your living kidney donor search.
Gotcha.
It's a great organization, that will give you 5 free t-shirts. You can order more, but you get up to 5 free.
Hmm.
And my favorite that I'll give you, and again, I'm going to put these in the Facebook message. You don't have to remember them, but if you do, I'll be impressed. But the the other one, this is my favorite, is the Kidney Search Foundation.
Okay.
This one is dope. It really is. The Kidney Search Foundation can help you with banners. Helps you with a T-shirt. Helps you with lawn signs. Putting a lawn sign in your yard. Helps you with a car magnet. All free. Helps you with a car decal on the back window of your vehicle. If
Hmm.
so many different things. I know I'm missing some of the promotional tools, but that's kidneysearchfoundation.org. And I'll put those links in my in the comments section
Okay.
after this is live. But anyway, I'm going to get to some of these comments. So your homeboy Derek has commented. I'm going to show his
Yeah.
comment. Yeah. Have you or do you plan to join LifeLink or any of the groups supporting those in need of organs? That's a
was
good question.
what wasn't aware of LifeLink, but again, I say I'm really a rookie at this. So anything you give me, I'm gonna be a sponge and soak it up and look into them. So thank
Yeah.
you for that.
All right. So here's your homeboy. He says, Hammond doing great job dealing with this, still giving to students, athletes, coaches, and most importantly, his daughters and wife. He is the truth. He's the truth. Wasn't that Allen Iverson, or was he the answer? I get that
Paul
confused with
Pierce is the truth.
Paul Pierce is
Paul
the
Pierce is the
truth.
truth.
That's
And
right.
listen,
Yeah.
and I didn't pay Derek to say that, so that's genuine. I appreciate it. Even though I told him he got to win games, I appreciate it, Coach. You the man.
Very nice. Very nice. I love it. Lisa Baxter coming up with some more comments. Thank you. Hallelujah. Yes, Verna. She's a great advocate as well.
Okay.
She's a kidney transplant recipient, and she found a living kidney donor online. So she's a testament that it can be done. She has found one online, and so it's this might sound odd, but yard signs work well. They do,
Never thought
especially
about that. I never thought about that.
right.
And I mean, we get them, but I mean, we've done them for
Yeah,
various things. But
right for other things, right?
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually. And I get signs all the time working with a local guy here for the school celebrating athletes. So
Hmm.
that's me saying, hey, I need you to get me one. So
Yeah,
I'll talk to him and get a sign
you
made up.
know, it's really creative to do things like that because especially like let's say I'm going to the Atlanta Hawks game, right? An NBA game. Think about I mean, after the bubble, of course, but thinking about,
Mhm.
a game right now virtually like it's preseason right now, but let's say I'm going to a regular season Hawks game think about how many people in the NBA arena there would be, right?
Oh yeah,
Well, if
come
you're,
on.
you know what I mean? So if you're wearing a t-shirt and you're promoting your need for a living kidney donor, potentially, there are a lot of people there. So the chance of somebody seeing it hopefully is greater, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
yeah, car magnet and stuff like that. The people, that see your car, other resources. It's just, really good to be creative that way because you never know. I mean, even if you go into, I know, okay, you can poke fun, guys, if you want, but even if you go into a Walmart, yes, I sometimes go into a Walmart, okay, but hey, it's budget friendly, and if you go to a
Hey,
Walmart, right, think of how many people are in there, right?
a lot
Anyway,
of people. A
yes,
lot of people.
yes. Yes, brother, I'm
Yeah.
serious.
No, listen, that's real. I don't disagree at all. I got a
Yeah,
Walmart trip in my future coming up, so I know what
yeah.
it's like, you know.
It's budget friendly. If you have a family, you feel me, right?
Listen, we a matter of fact, I got a student organization that's cool, and every year student athletes, it's probably about 25 or 30 of them. We sponsor families at our feeder elementary schools, and we go to Walmart, Target, and we shop like
Yeah,
crazy, and
right.
make Christmas special for kids. So, big shout out to my advisory kids, my Macintosh Athletic Advisory kids, and they're great athletes, great students, but we give back to the community too. So, I may have to
Hmm.
put some shirts on myself and them as we walk around
Yeah.
if they want around because that's another thing, man. Since this thing went in the paper, I've had parents email me, thoughts, prayers. Hey, we're getting tested to see if we may be a match, and that's just another level of overwhelming that they would even do that. I
Hmm.
mean, you guys know me for a short time working with kids, but it shows me that the good definitely outweighs the bad, and they know that I'm trying to do the right thing by children, and they help me and show me love. So that's greatly appreciated too.
Well, speaking of showing love, we've got a great comment right here. Great resources. Thank you for helping my son in love. Or is that your
Son in love. So
son-in-law?
that's my
All right.
yeah, that's my small wife's mom, but she is my
All right.
earthly mom, as we call her, because my mom passed on. So she always calls me her son in love. Calls
All
me
right.
earthly
All
son.
right.
She
Yeah.
vowed to my mom she would take care of me. So that's my other mom, my mom here. So I love her
Yeah.
greatly. Appreciate you. Shout out to you in the other room
Yeah.
watching this.
Shout out to moms. Shout out to moms. And I love
Right,
I
right,
love
right.
that. I have a great relationship with my mother-in-law, and my mother, we're kindred spirits that way. Leon, my mother passed away in 1999, so, and my dad passed away of kidney cancer. So,
Mm,
I it's when we have a mother here, like your mother in love, or then that's
mhm.
great because then we still have somebody that we can talk to, and so shout out to moms. I like that. All
Yes,
right,
indeed.
so.
And my wife poking her head into love her
Oh,
too.
for real?
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's poking her head and smiling. She's probably in there making lunch or something for work tomorrow, or getting ready for her
All
to go to
right, all
work. So
right, all right. Very nice. Well, you seem like a good soul. I used to ask why things happen to good people. God takes care of us in spite of the obstacles, and and
it's our testimony. That's what it
hmm
is. Like
yes,
he don't put more on you than you can't carry. So you know that's just what it is.
yeah. I really believe you will get a kidney soon. You have a great support system praying for you. Thank you, Thelma. All right, and um, super cool. Love that you guys are commenting. I love that this has been interactive. It's super important that I get that because when we want to come together as a disease community, and you guys show the comments like this and show up for Leon, it helps the algorithm, make this visible to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and wherever else I'm streaming right now. So thank you so much for all of the comments. Keep them coming, and continue to share. Okay, smash that share button. All right, because it you never know who might be watching. So it's crazy how this thing works. Leon, if I can leave you with a couple of other encouraging sort of thoughts, is that I mentioned Verna Johnson found a living kidney donor online,
Hmm.
and some I've been fortunate enough as an instrument, so to speak, because it's not all me. I don't do this all on my own. I have got guests like yourself, and then I've got people commenting like the kidney warriors in the kidney disease community. I can't do this alone, but I've been directly involved with finding 3 kidney donors directly myself. But again, I don't do it. If I didn't have people guest, and if I didn't have people sharing this, if I didn't have people commenting, then nobody would be found. So it can be done. I know it can be done. I've seen it happen, and it can happen. In fact, I've been really active on TikTok recently, and I don't want you to spread yourself too thin, but I found somebody who found a donor on TikTok.
Oh wow.
It's just social media can be very powerful that way. And so
Right.
even though, God sometimes allows different things to become things that maybe it can become corrupted, right? Because he can't make everything good, because then we wouldn't learn, right? And so the internet can be bad. We know that. It can also be bad. There's misinformation, but there's also the good, in that social media can bring together living kidney donors and bring us together as a kidney disease community. And it can be very powerful in that way. And for that reason, I'm very thankful for this opportunity to help get your message out there. But anyway, all right, back to what I'd like to do, though. Another great comment. Thank you, Thelma.
Yeah, Jared, this is amazing. You know what you're doing for people. You don't have to, but you do it, and God's put it on your heart to do, and that's you know greatly appreciated. You're helping
Well,
myself.
thank you. I mean, I don't have to. You're right, but I almost feel like I do, because I feel like if I didn't, I'd be letting God down. And because I feel like I was an actor. I'm comfortable in front of the camera, and I've got different skills and gifts that God has given me. And if I didn't do this, I really feel like I'd be disappointing people that I can help.
Hmm.
Much like you when you were talking, the students and stuff. If you can help people, and that was one of your whys, obviously, your family is one of your whys as well. But when you talked about becoming a transplant recipient, and that it would allow you more time not only with your family but helping other kids, if you didn't, you know, uh, there were skills that you have that God has given you, that if you didn't use those skills, you'd probably feel like maybe some of these people that that need guidance or need help, that you wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't do it. And anyway, yeah, I don't have to, right? But I almost feel like I do. Because
All right.
I'd I'd really I'd feel I would feel so much guilt, and I'd feel disappointed. I'd feel embarrassed and ashamed if I didn't do this. So but again, I'll do this alone. But thank you for saying that. It's my pleasure, and I love doing it. I've got a lot of passion for doing it. So Leon, we're a lot of comments are coming, and I'll keep this going if we keep the comments coming in, because more comments means it just makes this more visible, and that's my whole thing, is I want to make kidney warriors visible. All right, so
I
Thelma's
saw some of
talking
your
about.
TikToks today too. Yeah, I saw
Oh,
some
you
TikToks.
did?
Yeah, I saw some. I saw some. You know
All
what? I don't
right.
know if I'm that crafty, man. I run social media for my school, so
Well,
TikTok's like one of the last things I need to get on. But
I know, and
yeah,
I get it, brother, and I don't want to, like I said, spread yourself too thin, because sometimes if you get a lot of information all at once, it could be a little overwhelming. But there's one thing that I can maybe say right now without going into a lot of detail. One thing that I've learned is that on both Instagram and TikTok, which has made short videos really popular, right?
mhm.
TikTok the first, and then you even have YouTube Shorts, but the one it's called lazy TikTok. All right. And you can do this on Instagram, is that you can literally just make a 5 to second video. And in the video, you don't even have to be speaking. Let's say I just take a video of maybe just this ugly mug of mine, right now, for 5 seconds, and I'm smiling, right? And then I save that, and I put a bunch of text on the video about my need for a
Mhm.
living kidney donor. And then I add the sound I add is a trending sound. All right. And there are different ways to find trending sounds. One is it's really easy is if you're just on Instagram Reels or TikTok for like 5 minutes and you see a bunch of things that are a bunch of sounds, like there's Big
Right,
Mad
right.
that's really anyway. And you add that trending sound, and within 2 days you may have like anywhere from 500 to 1,000 views. That's just as easy as just making a 5 to second video and putting text on the screen. It's anyway.
You simplified that easy right there. You
Yeah,
simplified that. It's
right.
attainable.
Super simple. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to send you some links about those other resources that I talked about,
Okay.
and I'm gonna I'm gonna continue to share this. Again, I'll keep this going right now, you guys. If you want to keep on commenting, um,
Wait a minute.
and,
Ask more
and
questions. I'm
yeah,
open book.
ask some more, drop a comment, and ask some more questions if you'd like. You know, my daughter is going to college and she's trying to become a nurse, so she's trying to get her
Okay.
credits going. And then I have my wife who has her master's degree, and currently she's not teaching, but she wants to be. Well, she is teaching. She's an adjunct professor,
Oh, okay.
and so it's as you already probably know, or you're probably familiar with that term, is that she teaches as an adjunct professor for a university. She teaches either online or at a like on Saturdays for an English class,
Mhm.
but she's not teaching full time, right?
Right.
But I have so much respect for people in the education field. So I guess my question, if people are still watching and want to drop a comment, because I kind of thought of this before, and you may have answered it, but humor me if you would if I didn't quite grasp it. Is what after your sports career is finished? Um, what was what was your drive what prompted you to want to continue to be in the education field, and what was that really popped into your mind that this would be something I could enjoy?
Honestly, my relationship with my high school coaches, growing up, those were the most influential guys in my life,
Okay.
and I love the relationship I had with them. So I said I felt like that kind of relationship like that with a group of young guys who had a passion for sports. Maybe that was their
Okay.
way out of the neighborhood, or I just like you love football. I just love football. I love football. I love basketball. I pretty much love all sports. I watch it. So it was just like, you know what, man, I cultivated such a good relationship with these coaches and then the brotherhood I have with my teammates. So it was like, okay, you know what, I can see myself doing this. And I knew I didn't want to teach just from a textbook every day. I knew I
Right.
didn't want to. My trainer was really cool with me in high school, really close. So Miss Goody, I thought about being a trainer, but again, I told you the size 18 shoe, that did that for me. So yeah, got rid of that. And then I just knew the impact they had on me, and I knew I could have that impact on somebody else. I knew that, and then one of my coaches always said, "Whatever you give to other people, whatever people give to you, you got to give, that tenfold to somebody else." So, that was really just my motivation behind it. And I mean, obviously, summers off at the time were great. Who doesn't
Right.
love summer?
Not an admin
Yeah,
though, right?
not an admin, but you know what? It was just an opportunity to coach and be around kids, and academics was stressed by my mom and me, so it was like you can tie both of them together. You can't have. We always say you can't have a student without the athlete part, or you can't have the athlete without being a student. So, um, it was a perfect fit for me, and it made sense. Of everything else I could think of, it made sense the most to me. And it was like, man, could I do this for the rest of my life? Yeah, I'm best of both worlds. I would do the academic piece, but I'm still involved with sports every day. Whether it be volleyball, I was at a volleyball game last night, finished at about 8 o'clock, came home. We got football this weekend. We'll have cross country events, soccer, everything. It just goes on and on. So
Hmm.
you get really to get involved with kids when they're comfortable and they got their guard down, and they love to see you out there supporting them. And just, I got pictures up in my office, high fiving at the big games, going to state
Awesome.
championships. So
Wow.
stuff like that, you can't measure that. You can't measure
Those are
that, but
those are precious
those,
moments, brother.
right. So that was really my, to answer the long version of it, that was my motivation behind being in education, being a teacher, being a coach, and now being an administrative role. Instead of just touching that one team that I had,
Hmm.
now I'm able to, deal with all 24 programs and, deal with coaches now. And, there's a coach who's going to want to be an AD someday and be in my role. There's a kid who's going to want to be a coach one day. There's kids who talk to me about potentially being an athletic director or being working in sports in some capacity. So I'm able to talk to them from that standpoint, having that experience in pro sports. So it's a blessing. So, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, I am super grateful we did this, Leon.
Appreciate it, man. Likewise.
Yeah, seriously, I'm truly honored again that Willie would refer you to me, and I'm super happy that we did this tonight. I'm super thankful for Thelma, Lisa Baxter, Lisa Gee, Steve Belcher, Verna Johnson. I know there. Oh, and so we've got Philip Jones Jr. who commented, Derek Smith. And let's see, I know there are other people here. Son of
Yeah,
James.
Pat Manley, Phil, Shalella, my guys. It's just good group of people. Thank you to my friends who are on here,
Yes.
coaches. Thank you to the new people I got to meet. Hopefully, we get the fellowship and
All right.
connect in
All
some
right. All right. Well,
someday.
hold up. You're actually doing exactly what I was just going to say that it's time to do. All right. So
Uh,
here, here's the quote. I'm gonna put up a corny sort of cheesy photo of myself. Here we go. So it is now shout out time, brother. So who would you like to shout out? Before we end the show.
All right, shout out first and foremost, mother in love, wife, my two daughters, Vivian and Isabella, my coworkers, my admin team at work. Great people supporting me. That Bills Mafia Buffalo crew, my Cleveland family. Man, everybody who's shown interest in sharing, contacting me, text, email, call. I love you. I appreciate you immensely. I couldn't do this without you, and we're gonna get that kidney, and we're gonna make great things happen. And we're gonna help people.
Amen to that. Love it. So just a small request, Leon. I'm in your corner. I'm rooting for you. I'll share this. I'll put the links in. I'll send them to your Facebook Messenger, and I'll also put them in the comment section of this live. But if you get either a living kidney donor or you get a transplant from a deceased donor angel, okay, send me a message. Just hit me up and let me know because I'd love to celebrate that when that happens. Okay.
Jared, I got you. We're not done. Hopefully, I get the Willie Blackwell treatment, get the co-host, and I get to dance on the
Yes.
intro.
Yes.
Co-host, and
Yes.
we can celebrate and share some
All
other
right. All
Warriors
right.
journey. So for
Absolutely. And
sure.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get you connected with Philip Jones Jr. as well from a Second Chance. They do a great show, and they stream like I do to different social media platforms. So I'll get you connected
Okay,
with them,
appreciate it.
and of course I'll watch your show when you're on with Nashonda. Okay.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have a twin brother too. So
Okay,
I'll connect you with my twin brother Jeffrey A. Brown, and
okay,
and more people we have advocating for you and in your corner, the merrier, right?
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. God bless you and your family, and
God bless you too.
I'm gonna celebrate when you get that kidney, brother.
We gonna celebrate.
All right, we will. All right,
All
thank you
right, Jared.
again.
Appreciate you.
All right, talk to you
Thank
soon.
you. All
I'll
right.
take you up on that co-hosting, brother.
Hey,
Okay.
let me know. Let me know.
All
All
right, I will.
right.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Uh huh. All right, you guys. So thank you so much. Um, wow. Again, super, super thankful for all of the comments tonight. I haven't counted them, but I'm pretty sure we've gone over 100 comments tonight, which is really, really important when we're trying to make sure the algorithm is in our favor. Okay. When we have these comments and we're sharing, and this is like super interactive, then the algorithm is like bound, so to speak. All right. It's saying, all right, I give up. Okay, I'm going to show this to people that want to see this because you're making it super, relevant, right? So, all right. So I just wanted to, again, Pat Manley, you're welcome. I'm honored. It's my pleasure. I have so much passion, for doing this, and I'm super, super happy. I can't use any more superlatives other than super, because seriously, this is by far and away my favorite thing that I do every single week. And I'm happy that I do it. I couldn't do it without you all. And so I thank you. And all right. So thank you. Good night, Thelma. Hope you have a good evening. And I've got a supporter. I don't speak your language, but thank you for following me on D Live. It's another social media platform. Told you guys I'm multi-streaming to a bunch of social media platforms. In fact, there's one called oh my gosh, it starts with a V. Anyway, and that's in Europe. So you're welcome, Thelma. Again, it's my pleasure. It's my passion. I feel like I've got to do it. Otherwise, I'd feel ashamed and then I'd be embarrassed that I'm not utilizing the skills God has given me. All right. So thank you. All right. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching and following me and helping me help kidney patients find a living kidney donor. So share this. All right. Share it like you're going to share your mother's favorite recipe. Okay. Share this. All right. For me, my favorite recipe that my mom made was by far and away her lasagna. Okay. So I'm going to share this like I'm going to share my mother's lasagna recipe. All right. And if you know something that you like a lot, share it like that. All right. And my mother passed away, so it's a very fond memory. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm going to put the outro on. All right. And I will be interviewing next week on Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. In between, you'll find my short videos on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. All right. Thank you. All right. Peace. I'm out. Where's that intro? I'm going to be doing that little. All right. I'm just going to dance.
Ooh, like LeBron though, or like Lonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky. Look at me, look at you, what you see, what you do. Baby, please think it through, drink it up, enjoy the view. MVP on my crew, Nike on my shoes. Might be sipping booze, slightly feeling loose. If I want it, then I have it.